I'm working on this tile work. I wanted to bring y'all in on this, and you see that side grinder out there with the diamond wheel on it? That means only one thing: outlets. So, boy, you better wear something over your lungs and your eyes and your ears and everything else. So let's see if I can get that thing going in there. I thought that putting the gemstone was tough. I've done this before. It's not so bad. Hopefully, if you're lucky, you hit halvesies here. You hit this, but I hit this one right in the middle. So I want to make this something to be proud of. And let's see if I can do that thing. Yeah, you better wear a full face on such a thing like that. There you go. Now, I'll tell you, you can work off these little tabs right here too, and that'll help you. So let's see if I can get this on here and sort of get it on there straight. The odds of me taking that back out of there is pretty small. I guess you need to kind of see how tight it is. You gotta sort of, well, maybe if I do it, I'll probably break it. Oh, okay, so you gotta slip it in. And boy, that is one messy piece of business there. So let's start out this party here. There's the caulk gun. Okay. So let's get my adhesive going here. And I guess the best thing to do is just go down there until you get to that and then see where you end up. But I've already got my bullnose piece ready here. I'll have to put a piece of tile in there. It's going to be kind of, this is fiddly work sometimes. Fiddle-dee-dee. Boy, is that a nerve-wracking experience there. Let's see if, see how it looks. Now what you run into is the outlet will be springy because of the wires and everything, and you just have to tighten this up as carefully as you know how to. This is just temporary to make sure I got her. Okay, I think I got her. I'll take that little bit of an angle over there, because from there, that's pretty nice. Okay, let's get her way down to there. Here we are. Now, all of that's glued down over there, and I got the super bright lights on. So, and I know there's two different kinds of light. I got more plans. You see right there, this like 100 and maybe 200-year-old match holder. See, I got some Strike Anywhere matches. I wish they made those red again. But this thing's very, very old. Found this in Hillsborough. So I'm going to put some tile here. Gonna brighten that up a little bit more. And so I got, what have I done? I'm kind of beat. I got all the back tiles cut, and don't worry about it. I mean, you're not Al Cheslak, so you don't tell me what to do. Al Cheslak, I did $1,000 worth of tile. Oh, it looks so good. It's not grouted, Al. Well, it looks pretty good. Well, that's because it's got grout on it now, Al. Okay, so anyway, just, you know, you got to kind of forgive some of the lines you see. I have almost no lippage, and that's good. Now that sometimes tiles will get raise high-low. Sometimes tiles will give you that, and oh boy, that took a long time. Boy, like pencil thin mustache right there, and oh, so that's the best you can do. It's all you can do. So let's see. So you notice that I got these, what, 1.5-inch tiles here, and they're right smack up against the stove. Now I couldn't believe it. I'm gonna have the same thing over here. It's gonna, I cannot believe it. So this is your key tile right here. You want this to look good. You know, you always, like I told you earlier, you gotta pick your battles. So, you know, you start here and you work your way, and you make your field. Now the field has to be down so you can do the periphery. And I'm going to be cutting tile a lot, but that's okay. But this right here is going to match over here. I can't believe how lucky I am. Oh, I think we lost the video of me doing the front porch, but the steps came out perfect. I don't know how in the Lord's name I'm getting such good luck on some of this stuff. But I didn't have to do anything with these pieces of wood right here. It just fit into the steps. I know you're going to say, well, lumber's dimensional. No, those steps, that wood's very, very old, and I cut it to fit. Just got lucky. So, let's see, it just makes a mess of your whole house. Nothing better than a mess of your whole house. So this is clamp on a roll. So when you do stuff like this, you don't necessarily need to put shims down here. If you're lucky, you can put masking tape up here and hold it up. Just, give it a little tension. Don't let that stay there overnight. Let it stay there 6 or 8 hours. You do not want to live in a world where you left masking tape on too long. It's so bad, in fact, I think 3M actually makes the chemical that makes it come off, because it turns into a nightmare, especially if your masking tape is already sort of aged. So let's talk about the outlets that we were speaking about earlier. That one's going to be a little crooked, and thank God I didn't put the outlet in. So there it is. And that is so much fun. I love stuff like that. So this one I had to do 2 tiles, and you just sort of have to hand work it. Okay, so that's why I'm not putting those on at the end, because I'll probably take my fingers and put some some grout in there. So once again, I reiterate, you got to keep going over this stuff. And when you hear that, and you can see it looks pretty good. I think that one could come out just a little bit, maybe not. I don't think you'll notice that. Now you got a pretty good amount of time. All right, let me come clean. You may come clean with you. So you don't have to worry about right there. I'm just sort of getting an eyeball on how that's going to. I think that's going to be fine. I think this being cut and those being cut is going to kind of tie to give you a nice little dog leg right there. So when you adhere to this nasty plastic stuff, it takes you can't use normal stuff. So I use Abby-Normal stuff, the Marty Feldman brand of Loctite. This right here, construction adhesive, and that's going to do fine. I'm very happy with that, and it will release. I mean, you may bust a tile up, but it will release. Now you can see that little wall right there is going in. I'm kind of using little scraps and messing over there, and I can tell you now, just having that white, you can turn the lights off because you get the residual sunlight, and it just brightens up the whole room. Did the power go off? Ooh, that's not good. I guess I better go tend to whatever tone that is. I wanted to say something else to you. When you cut these tiles with all these odd little angles that are remainders, save them, because they will save you. Just hold on to them. Keep your hand steady. And I didn't cut it for this, but look at that. See, that fits right in there. I mean, that's what you're going for here. All I got to do is lop off, half an inch, maybe a little less. And these little pieces that you might consider scrap aren't scrap. I mean, save all of it. And don't matter how funky or weird or triangular, whatever it is it looks like, save it. Save it till the bitter end of the project, and you'll be fine. Okay, I just wanted to mention that. I'll pop that in there tomorrow. Because see, you got that big shadow. And then that. So I've also made a little bit of a decision over at the stove vent. I don't fry anything. I'm gonna eat meat. Don't cook. Don't fry anything. I mean, I just sort of bake a pizza now and then. And so anyway, this is also weird because this material is crud. And so, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. let me tell you. So I'm going to put whole tile there. So what you do is you have to screw in a little bit of a base here to hold it, and then you can put that up there. And you know, you don't have to do anything fancy, but just get a couple of pieces of scrap wood, or actually just some shims, and just tack them up there with a couple of screws, and then you'll be able to do that. You know, that's going to be great. Now I'll have to drill a hole in the tile to hold my match. Okay. Well, I kind of went after it. It's a lot of fun to do. I'm sort of beat. It's pretty early in the morning here, for me anyhow. So we got this. So you know, when you get to places like that, you have to end up doing things like this, very delicate work, and you just have to keep cutting and fitting, and that's the best way to do it. And you might say, well, I just got to work on it, so I'm just, you know, in and out the door 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 20, 30 times, whatever it takes. But you really need to do this corner work because of the way the lines are, you know, because you don't want to hang this over, because then you throw off your line here. And I know that's off because this is the back side of what I'm doing. This is the front side. You'll see the lines are a lot better. And like most of the people who criticize this work, you know, I think it looks pretty damn good, and I haven't even put the grout in it yet. So that's a good sign it's going to work out. So I've got 4 of these to make. I got the leading edge here going into the kitchen here, the kitchen countertop, and the one on that corner over there. So that's kind of the most fun right here, is doing stuff like that. And it just takes a little time. It's worth it. So I had to do this. There's an old rule in real estate, and I've only had a couple houses that ever did this. When you swing the front door open, you should never see 3 different kinds of floor. 2 is the maximum. And if you ever, and it was on High Rock Road in Orange County, had a house there, it's a little house, and it was 3 different floors. And you sort of in your gut, you know, you don't know what exactly, but you know something's wrong. And I remember figuring that out. So got all this done today. The neat thing about getting it butted right up against the stove is that, you know, you just sort of, it ends up rather fluid. You don't have any kind of catch going on there, and it's just so much tighter, and that's just such a treat. And carry your tiles back in there a little bit, and you can tell how good that looks there. So of course you wouldn't caulk here, but the trick to this is you'll have to lay a little bit of masking tape here. So when you start doing your grout and your sponge and all that, my outlets turned out good. I'm happy about that, the way all that worked. That one punches out a little bit, but just because of the way the box is, it's not but a couple of millimeters. Won't even be noticeable. Well, I have finished the tile portion of our show. I have made these lovely little corners. That one's probably okay to look at now. I think I'll put the Band-Aid back on it, but you know, it just looks like a homemade job at a cabin. Guess what? That's what it is. But I think it looks pretty good. I tried to fit these a little nicer. These are a little bit more out front. So I did this. I did that little back thing. Saw no reason to go get some kind of fancy corner piece. I just cut an angle on that thing, and then fine. Who cares? So it's a lot brighter. It's a lot nicer. Looking forward to doing a little caulk and grout, but I'm going to do all the grout at the same time. So I guess tomorrow I don't know how much tile I got. I guess I could go in there and measure it. Probably have to take some back. Probably got more than enough to do this in here. So let's. I'm a little bashful. Oop. So looking forward to getting rid of this gnarly, messy. I tell you what it reminds me of, but I try not to say things that are too gross. But Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to run. I think once I might can start on this end and get my 5-in-1 tool. I'd prefer not to mess up any paint here, but what I'll probably do when I put my 6-inch tiles, I'll probably run those fancy ones with the bullnose up and around the corner. I don't know. We'll just have to see. So if I do that, I probably will have to get a fancy 2-corner bullnose corner for over here, maybe. I don't know. Think about it. Oh yeah, I got to do this too. I forgot about doing this right here. Make it a little bit more substantial. I can tell you now that I love the light coming off back here on this thing. I know it looks kind of funny, but I like it. It looks cleaner and it looks nicer. And I can't see doing that. I'm almost ready to do that. I may do it, but I think there's enough of an inset there. I went both ways on doing this bar section. I kind of just didn't really want to just leave it alone. I just decided to go for it because it did look so dark and horrible. So that's I'll have a finish up shot here in 3 or 4 days, I guess. It's been a couple of days. I had trouble with the sink. Every time I looked at it, I could see something was wrong. It just didn't fit in the hole correctly. It was closed and caulkable. But what I did was I got some bullnose tiles like this, and there's your profile on that. And I made sort of a little stand-up, be proud little thing here. And I've been sort of fitting and messing with it, and I guess I'm going to be doing that for a while, and then your glue kind of pops out on you. This glue is pretty good stuff. It doesn't, let me show exactly what it is. It's pretty good. It's better than, the more it sits, the better, but that's what I'm using, not a sponsor. And it's got a pretty decent working time. But I decided to make a little pedestal of bullnose tile, I guess is the way to put it. And, get that off of there. And I'm going to have to just play with this a while. So you're going to wonder, like, how do you do that? And the way I did it was the way I did everything else, putting this thing in. I just put my hydraulic jacks back down in there. And that's all I did. And I just jacked it up far enough to wedge those suckers in there. And I'm digging that. The corner cuts are tough, and that's why, I think that's always a spot. So I got my 45-degree cuts here. And let's not put that back on the counter because it might be contaminated now. So there you go. I'm not going to do anything with it for a whole day. I probably don't even want to use this sink at all. I can use that for coffee, and that'll be good. But I think that's better. It actually brings it up a little bit. Brings it up this much more. So now it's up about this much in total. It's up that much, and that's better. I'm not a tall guy, but I prefer things to be a little bit better working height. So there you go. Hope that works. And back here I didn't use bullnose, I'll confess to you, because you don't need them, because nobody's going to see them. So I bullnosed it all the way around, the 3/4 of the way around. Technically a little bit more than that, but I think you get my meaning. So you just keep coming over here and keep messing with it. I think I'm going to put a piece of tape right there and hold that in. So you just, as long as the corners look pretty good, I'm okay. I'm okay with all that. So you just keep futzing with it. And cool. Let's see who emailed me. Let's take a look in here. I've already started in my little bathroom here. I've undercut this. I haven't even gone under the sink yet to look, because first thing I'm going to do is the splash wall. This is actual tile sandy grout mess. And, there is, of course, a little bit of. Probably should take that mirror down and get the AccuVac in here, but it's just going to get worse and worse, isn't it? So let's get this horrible, disgusting color off here. I'm looking very forward to it. And where would you be without that tool right there? So great big axe, pow, pow, pow. Now I'm going to try to save these tiles. No, not really. I don't want to see this color again as long as I live. So this is my first attempt here. I don't know what's back there other than this tool. I guess the thing to do here would be, I'm going to try not to mess it up too far up the wall. I guess I've got to okay, let's I don't know how noise is going to transfer down in this circumstance. Well, I need 5 5-in-1 tools. You get the gist of it. Let's see how I do. You think it was the tiles off the space shuttle or something. Of course, I'm sort of known to overdo things myself. As long as I've got most of this in good order, I'm okay. And I can just scrape and get that level. We don't want the tile to stick out, known as lippage. So I got it out in 3 pieces. I consider that to be a victory. And that's just what it looks like back there. Nothing to worry about. We're going to be fixing it. Once you get going and get the feel for it, I probably got 10 minutes worth of time here. I don't think I broke another tile. They all, the first tile was the deepest there. That one broke, and the only damage to the wall is that little bit right there. So, I know I'm going to be a little complicated over here with my plan. But first of all, let's get the AccuVac out and throw these directly outside, because that's just the best way to do it. So let's see about what we're going to, let's see how one of these fits. A couple of tiles were broken right out of the box, but that's okay because you end up cutting them anyway. So let's just see where these stand. So your question is, where you want to start? This way or that way? And I think I want to start this way. No real reason. It's just maybe just a little lower, and then I'll show you what the total plan is here. And anyway, there's that. So there's step 1. It's going to be fine. Just remember to scrape all your old silicone off the base, all the stuff off the wall. Get it as flat, high and low as you can. And I decided to bring this tile all the way out. And I got enough pieces of tile to where I can probably just go down that dark crevice right there. So get your micrometers, measure your old pieces, and shove them in there. It'll be fine. So that's going to be step 1. Now what I do over here, I'm not quite sure yet. The one thing that I did want to see was how aggressively is that put on there. Well, I would say not so much, huh? I don't have my safety glasses on. Oh no. I want to try to get this out, and so I can take the tile all the way back there from here. and I got to take this out too. So I'll just show you what it looks like when I'm done. I haven't. So the trick here is going to be these I cut off of that blue mat. So I couldn't find blue at the store, so I had to get these mosaic things that are glued together. And I passed a very happy 10 minutes cutting the glue off of these. So the trick is going to be doing this. And then I got to put bullnose on that. So there's that. There's that. You got that going there. And so we're going to leave those there. So yeah, it's going to be really pretty, I think. It's going to be a lot nicer. Now the only other problem I got is in these rooms. It's Tilly the tugboat there, my radio control plane. This is still that real horrible, so dry it hurts your teeth, flat tan. What was I thinking getting all this flat tan in here? I guess I was just trying to make it oatmeal neutral. I succeeded. So there is the beginning of it. Time for a little tape there. So let me get that going. So there's where we're going to start. I'm going to carry that all the way around. I have the blue part in. I think that looks rather nice. I'm down to pieces. I'm going to run out of bullnose. I know that. But the only thing I got is that is just so almost there. It's ridiculous. So what I'm going to do, same thing here. I don't know what am I going to do? What would you do? Would you tile up to here? And I want to accentuate the lines. So I've got to think about, it's just what? Oh, it's more than you think. It's more than you think. I think I'm going to just chip away right here and see if I can just get these things. Well, I'm going to be at the wet saw for quite a while. But that's okay. We're going to get these things to fit. That's not white. I've noticed that before. But it's some kind of off color, some kind of builder grade. Imagine that. So let's see what we're going to do here. I take that just to keep that corner stable. You really want to do that. You don't want to. Ugh, got glue on me. You don't want to get off the beam, and you want to make sure when you see something you knock it off because it could be glue. So there you go. Okay, I can go up pretty high there. Let's see what I'm going to do here. Whew, this is going to be fun. It won't be so bad. I just got a fresh load of water in the tile saw, and just have to kind of just walk it down and just see how it goes. You won't be able to do this on everything, but I got some white out, and when I make a cut, I put it on the corners. So when I caulk it, it won't look bad. I did it right here and right here. And I had an epiphany here to where I didn't need to cut bull noses to go underneath here. So this is actually just a scrap piece. Now I did elect to cut bull noses here. Not going to have enough anyway. But I wanted you to see I cut an angle there and there. And I started to put it on. You can tell by a little bit of glue, and I decided I wanted to show you. It just takes a little time and a little effort, and you end up with that. That ain't so bad. Ain't so bad at all. Now I've got all these little pieces that I kind of don't want to use there. It's getting a little bit too little. I guess it might be a different die lot or something. A different batch. So I don't have enough to go all the way across anyway. Do I? No. That's all I got on bullnose, so I'll have to ride in and get some more. Only let's not do it right now. There you go. That's not too terrible. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 more bull noses. I got those little scraps there. So this is what you're going to start on now. This happens in corners a lot. I back cut that corner a little bit, but it didn't seem to work out too good. You end up with this. So I'm going to try to get this to be as square as I can. So you got to make a relief cut here and taper it in, or taper it out, and start here and taper it out, and sort of just play with that and get that corner. I know there's caulk, and I am sort of considering it, but I'm going to at least get the roundness of the blade and just cut a little kerf right here, a little relief cut on this edge. I'm going to start there and then sort of hope for the best. That's got to be better than that. That's just not going to work for me. Okay, just all the little things you got to do. So this took a little back cutting. See the little angles I cut there? And just a little bit off the corner. And there. Now you got to ask yourself a question. Do I care about that little bit? Do I care about that being off right there? I would say no. I don't really care about that. But I probably will cut it anyway. I don't know. Just have to think about it. Oop. So you gotta go back over all your work here. Okay. All right. I try not to waste any of that, but it just happens. So if I cut this one, I gotta cut all of them. I hope you brought enough gum for everybody. So, and we're kind of taking for granted that this countertop is straight. No, think of the Parthenon. It's not worth cutting tile for that. It's just not worth it. So, I want my whole tiles back there if I can do them. So, oh, this doesn't have that bevel in it. Thank God. That bevel's a real pain because when you go to do your undermark on your tile, you have to sort of keep that in mind. That's the way all of that other stuff was. So, it's okay. It turned out okay. I wanted to tile this too. I want to really make this place look good here. So the thing was, I had this ancient matchbox up there. So I sort of measured it on the back side and got my hole saw and went as kind of deep as I could. And I think I've about got her. And I wiped off up there, and there's still soot up there from the fire. I guess you can't remember to get everything, can you? But that's done now. And see, the other thing I did was I got this chair slider and a razor blade, because razor blades have holes in them. From now on, all cars will have holes. There's one. They got that in it. So I just sort of nailed it up there on both sides. And you can see the little thing here. And okay, and then that'll hold that into place. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so there it is. That's very bright, and I like it very much. And I got to go to the store. I'm short of bulls and flats and goo and all that other good stuff. So we will do more later. And this is do they sell these anymore? These Strike Anywhere things? I don't know. I guess they do for camping maybe or something. Okay, so that really helps that light work a lot better. Oh, so much better. See, I hadn't done this yet. I didn't think about that. Oh no! So I got to get more tiles. I think I'm going to do that. It just seems logical and natural and hides that ugly wood. Let's just look at it that way. Let's hide that fake wood. Multiply. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6 down. I think I can sort that out.
Battle's done. What'd you say?
Can you see him?
Alright, that isn't what you said.
There, little wildcat. Oh, got something.
I can tell you exactly what they wore.
That's okay.
One, he looked to be
You get
pretty
them
tall
mice.
inside his horse.
Micey
He wore a
miceys.
checked wool shirt, faded denim pants.
Okay. I have had enough of this ugly brown caulk in this doorway here. Did you hear that? Every time you move. So I got this piece of tile and my wickety wackety tool, and I'm gonna make a nice little tile inset here like I wanted to do all those years ago. And whew, boy, that's gotta go. I know, I got hair everywhere. So there that is. Boy, I wanted to do that when I did this job all those years ago. So now I can go under here and I'll clean that up and paint it. And I can make a nice little tile, little base. Should I make it out of this or should I make it out of the blue stuff? Do I have some blue stuff handy? Nope. So, but anyway, getting rid of that. Yuck. Had to do it though. Oh, there's more there. Oh, wait a second. I thought. Oh. There you go. There you go. Kind of forgot I did that. So, pull the door to, and see, I can put this piece of tile. I know you're wondering what this is, but there's a reason for that. There's a reason for most things I do. May not be a good reason, but there is a reason. That's kind of square. So, oh, there's Cindy. All right, time to get some eggs. You like eggs? I really don't know where I ended up here, so this might be redundant stuff. But yeah, I think I remember taping this. Let's just put this over here. After about an hour and after several attempts at it and maybe what 30 or 40 trips to the table, to the tile cutting saw, you end up with these pieces like this. And thank goodness for that thing. So let's just see how this works. I have obviously test fit it, and I'll show you the final outcome in a minute. Now remember, we started out with that. Ugh. What was I thinking? I was thinking that's all I had at the time. So, oh, well, I guess I need to put you in frame here. Let's start over because I get carried away. All right, so there is that one. And you got this angle here and this angle here. And you're just gonna have to go for the best you can get there. And you end up with like that. And I'm gonna make that look better in a minute. That almost looks regal, doesn't it? It looks like a Buick Regal. Okay, that's pretty good there. Now I'm gonna trim that up and do some touch up. And then it did look like that, and now it looks almost like that. Dang. I've probably got 90 minutes in this, but I do like things to look nice, especially since I look at this every single day. So I'm probably not going to glue that in for a while, but let me do some trim on it, and then I'll be right back. And then we're going to close this one out because this is going way too long. I still got to pull that sink out, and I got a bunch of tile today, so I got a bunch to do there. I'm too tired tonight. I got to go in anyway. When it comes to things like this, and you're so far away, and this dries so quickly, and gets you on the right path, I just kind of paint everything with this. It's cheap and easy. Get it at Dollar General or wherever you want to. So I'm gonna just test fit this and see how much better it looks with a little bit of clean up and white out. And then I found the key to this to be right here. Oop. And sometimes you gotta back cut a couple of times. See, the key to that is right there. And you just kind of get it going. And I know there's a little bit of a thing right there, but I ain't scared because that is just a skosh, a little tiny bit of white caulk. So there you go. That's a lot of dang work right there, and I enjoyed it immensely. So there's the Healy top, the old clock, and Tilly the tugboat, and somewhere in there is Chris Craft. There's my stuff I used to teach snow skiing in. And if you care, I guess you're watching this because you want to see about. The main thing is it's like playing the piano or anything else. It's patience and practice and time, and having extra tiles, because I did think at one point that one was going to work, but you can tell it's far too short. So we're not going to be using that, of course. My new favorite tool, my old favorite tool. We'll do this one. I don't know. I'll show you what that looks like. I won't go through the processes, but see, you gotta kind of keep playing with it and make sure it's square. If you look at it at different angles, you'll find that there's some kind of piece of rubber, leftover silicone in there fighting me. It's in this groove right here. So, yep, there it is. And just be careful doing this because you don't want to scot a car. Okay, see that little bit of rubber right there fighting me? Okay, just put that around the corner. We'll get it in a minute. And you might even find you don't want to pull out on that too much because you want to drag it across your wood floor and make a gauche. A friend of mine used to say. So you get to see a little bit of what goes on here. And you just got to get all that out of there. And I didn't. Let's see if that does any better. It doesn't give me the spring back. Yeah, that's got it. And you can touch up little bits right there with, you can get your caulk and just kind of do this and put a flare on it and cut it with a sharp razor later and make it look really good and pointed. Wow. Let's get up and look at that. See how much, wow, that's a good angle. Because you can see it's not straight as it should be. And you can pull that one up a little bit. That's pretty straight there. Wow. What a comeback from that, huh? That just looks like a muddy mess right there. But that is very beautiful and likable. It almost makes this look like a column now. Pretty cool. Give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button. And subscribe. And share it with your friends who do tile. That kind of gets on a guy. That's just beautiful. Okay, well let me turn everything off. I don't want to be tile cutting this late out there. It's kind of, I live on a gigantic farm, but I still don't want to bother the neighbors because I can hear them when they bother me.